Okay. Can you hear now? Oh well, let's just keep going. The good thing is we still have your
Okay.
recording.
It
So
is recorded. I can always share it back to you anytime. You can post it and that kind of thing.
the link that I
Um,
sent you, could you click the link I sent you
mhm.
in your email just in case?
Yep. For your StreamYard.
Yeah. And if it lets you do both. If it won't let you do both, that's fine, but
Yeah, I'm in there. I'm gonna close it because there's a reverb, but I just jumped in. This looks fine.
um
Let me try on my phone.
you can hear it on Twitter?
Yeah.
Okay, they can hear it. So maybe there's something on Twitch, but we'll just keep going.
Okay. But you're talking about there's 10,000 offices or different offices
Yes.
people can
Yes,
so
it's
people feel like they can get involved. There's other ways. Tell us how.
could you mute that for me? Thank you. Yes, there's so many offices I didn't know about, and so many of them are decided by such little amount of votes. 10 votes, 50 votes, 100 votes. It's super close. And so that being said, it's like that kind of is like I had the aha moment that wow, your vote really does count. I learned that all it takes is, if I can bring 1,000 people out to a show, if I can bring 50 people out to a show, then I can bring 50 people out to vote. I can bring a
Yeah.
thousand people out to vote, and taking that same thing, because I have people who are getting locked up unjustly. I have people that are getting taxed unfairly. I have people on both sides of family court having issues with a family court. I talked to a young woman who is having issue getting her children, and then I talked to a young man who's having issues, with the child support system, and they feel like they have no one that they can count on. And you know what's crazy? I've seen how some of these elected officials talk to people who they feel like can't do anything for them. Talk to people who they feel like can't donate $1,000 to their campaign, who can't give 10,000 to their campaign. I see how they look at them and talk to them. I see the fake, and I even see it with a lot of people that are running for office that are like, running and trying to present themselves as this new open progressive type of thing, but then I see how you talk to somebody who can't do nothing for you. And I'm like, the whole reason that I ran, and bringing it back to being an artist, I was a street performer. I'd be on Myrtle Broadway. I would be in the Lower East Side performing. And some of my biggest fans are people who are currently homeless or living in shelters, and they know me. They know all of my songs. They know all of my lyrics. They're my biggest fans. So, and sometimes it's me and homeless people that I'm rocking with. And for me, I see some of the stuff they're going to, and they talk to me like, "Yo, you're the only person who talks to me like I'm a person. Like, not like I'm some needy person that needs help. Not like I'm some dirty person to get away from me. You talking to me like, yo, I'm just a person. Like, we're just kicking it, and we've even built a relationship. Like, and like, to me, that's like, wow, I didn't even put it together like that. Like, man, people are treating you a certain type of way. And New York has a serious housing crisis and homelessness issue. So sometimes people, it gets very easy to ignore the victims of that. But yeah, so this is one of the things that made me get more serious about it.
Yeah, I mean, Cuomo just shut down 24-hour subway system. He just limited the hours, and it's very clear that it's to clear out homelessness. Like, it's a double dip in a way, but it's really, I mean, how do we stop this kind of thing from happening? I don't know. There's these rules, these regulations that are getting passed through that really, they're not going to disappear once COVID is gone. They're being used as opportunities to later then disband groups of people or stop people from sleeping on subways. Vagrancy charges are completely ridiculous. Like, I mean, we just overturned cabaret laws so that we could have our clubs function like a normal entertainment environment. It's just, and those things were implemented to stop jazz age blues clubs and people of color from dancing. It's just, I mean, and that's a long time to help stop that kind of implementation. So that's one of my worries as somebody who has fostered a community locally through DJs and clubs and rave culture and all kinds of other opportunities to come together. And I just don't know what's going to happen, right? Like, how are we going to have to then dismantle what's being put together while we are effectively neutered in our homes?
Exactly. I mean,
it's heavy. It's just a thought. You don't have to have the answer. I don't think any of us really have the answer right now, but I'd like to pose that question.
No, definitely. I mean, it's a serious issue. This is something that we're fighting back against, and it's hard to get people to care. And that's why I think artists are so important, because with our art, whether somebody's a documentary filmmaker, whether somebody's a DJ, whether somebody's a painter, whether somebody's a TikToker, a social media user, whether somebody's a rapper, you know, the hardest part is making it apparent what the issues are for people, you know, and really bringing it home in layman's terms, the stakes, right? And that's one of the things I think that, and just awareness. A lot of people just aren't aware because they're so busy living their normal life, trying to make ends meet during coronavirus, trying to make ends meet before coronavirus. So having artists that can actually, you know, make that accessible for people is super important. And that's something that I'm staying up late nights trying to do, you know, finding ways to make all these conversations more accessible, letting people know, hey, this is what's going on in a cool, fun way. Because as soon as you get into preachy political form, that's when people tune out. And, you know, that's when you actually lose the people. So.
Yeah, I think that's what's so amazing about music, and why I love that you're a musician, politician, however you want to phrase those, which first, up to you. But music is an incredible way to share thoughts and feelings to anybody. Anyone can sing it, right? They can share it, they can learn it. And I think that's going to be very powerful as you move forward. It's a great equalizer. Music is for everyone.
Definitely.
Right?
Definitely. And we haven't even flexed our muscle. That's kind of our secret weapon, at least in the campaign, because we haven't even flexed our muscle of the music yet for it. You know, I was working with Andrew Yang's campaign before I was even working with it. You know, I was still deciding of who I wanted to vote for president, or just seeing what was on, what the talking points were for the different candidates. And for me, I liked Andrew Yang, so I liked what he was talking about, and I knew no one was gonna hear about him for a long time, just because he wasn't a traditional politician, a bunch of other things. So I took it upon myself to use my music to, okay, even if I only have 10 fans, use my music to let these 10 fans know, even if you're not gonna get interested in the candidate that I have been looking at, Andrew Yang, get thinking about the reasons that you don't like them, that you do like them, or that who that you want to vote for, just so you know that this is coming up, just so you know that, oh, if Paperboy cares about voting this year, if Paperboy cares about this, all right, at least I'm aware. You know what I mean? I'm making the awareness democratic. So, and I saw when I started doing that, I made one song, I made two songs, I made a dance. After that, I go outside and my friends are like, yo, who's this Yang person? Is this your friend or something? Like, you keep making songs about him. Like, yo, is this your homie? Like, why are you? And then I get to tell them, like, oh, no, it's somebody running for president. The thing that I'm inspired about is universal basic income. I feel like if instead of putting so much money and trust in government programs, if we put that same money and power and just give it to the people and let them solve some of their own problems instead of us telling them how we're going to solve their own problem, I think that's a powerful idea. I think that's a powerful starting point. I feel like we should at least have the conversation. And then me seeing how many people were coming up to me talking about the Yang songs let me know how powerful that my music was. even if it wasn't even getting 1 million views. You know what I'm saying? Just using that to reach out, it's like, wow. And I realized it stuck out because no one else was making songs like that. No one else was making songs about voting or political candidates or specific policies, and just doing it in a fun and random way. Like, I'm not going super detailed about it. I'm not trying to be extra smart about it. I'm just being super fun and relaxed and making it dancey and fun, to where even if you don't even care what I'm talking about, you can still enjoy it. So
yeah, it's a nice honest approach to hard topics, and also complicated topics, things that aren't taught to us or readily available in our education system. So we have to then figure it out or learn it later on when we're sometimes well past our voting age.
Exactly.
To even understand what a local government is going to do for you, or what they have within their power, is not common knowledge. And I think it's done on purpose. I think we're not supposed to know so that they can just move along and do what they need to do while we sit around wondering why something isn't happening, right? And
exactly.
I think that's exciting, though, to put those things in your music.
Exactly.
So it can be heard easily and understood simply, because these things should be easy. They should be simple, because they're supposed to be for the people.
Exactly.
So I think that's very exciting. That's super exciting.
To what you said, if you don't know, if you don't know what a congressperson does, if you don't know what a city council member does, and you don't know what an assembly member does, a state senator, a U.S. senator, attorney general, a district attorney, a circuit court judge, if you don't know what they do, you don't know how to hold them accountable for doing their job or not doing their job. You don't know how to hold truth to power and tell them, okay, you're doing this right and you're doing this wrong. And that's a big issue of what's going on. A lot of people don't even know. They don't even know what they're doing, what the job is, so they don't even know how to hold them accountable for it. And the elected officials have banded together. The Democratic Party, the Republican Party have banded together to make sure to hold this information back from the people, to make it hard to be accessible, to make sure that no one is continually educating the people on this, so that they aren't held accountable. I say, one of the things I say about my opponent is, and just a lot of elected officials in general, is their power is in their anonymity. The fact that no one knows who they are, that's what makes them so powerful, because they can just go behind the shadows.
Who are you running against?
Right now, I'm running against Congressperson Velasquez, who's been there for 27 years. And yeah, so I don't really focus. And again, one of the things that we're also doing this campaign is we're not overly focusing on the opponent, at least yet. You know, we're focusing on the issues. We're focusing on the people. We're focusing on the process. We're focusing on education. We're focusing on awareness. We're focusing on love. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
But there are a lot of things that, again, this person has done under the guise of helping people. See, when you don't know what my job is, I can tell you that I'm helping you. When you don't know what a doctor does, I can tell you that this medication is helping you, really is killing you. I can tell you this treatment is good for you, really it's the worst possible thing for you. You know, so, and that's kind of a lot of what's going on.
Do you mind explaining a little bit about what a congressperson does, so you can maybe help people who are not aware of what that is?
Definitely. So in federal and in state governments, but I guess we'll focus on federal governments. In our federal government, there is the executive branch, there's the legislative branch, and then the judicial branch. So the executive branch is like the president, right? Vice president. Judicial branch would be the Supreme Court. And then the legislative branch is the House of Representatives, which Congress people fall under. And then the Senate, which is where senators fall under. So basically, there's checks and balances of each branch of government, so that one doesn't have too much power and it doesn't turn into a dictatorship, so that the president isn't turned into a king and have all the power. So they are supposed to check each other. So you can't, for example, the president doesn't have the power to send anyone to jail or things of that nature, right? The president can't write a law, right? The president can make an executive order, but the president cannot make a law. We give that power to the people through their representatives. Now, Congress people, their job is to write laws. They can actually write, propose, vote on, and then pass bills. Bills that would eventually become laws. So the main job of a congressperson is to create laws, is to write bills, gain support for these bills, vote on them, and then pass them through the House, then the Senate, and then the president would affirm them, would sign off on them when they come to their desk, or veto that law if it's something that they decide to veto. But they rarely do it if the House and the Senate both agree on it. So this is what a congressperson does: write laws. To make it super simple, they write laws. And and help gain support for them. And why I feel like I would be such a great congressperson is because, one, my background in the issues affecting average everyday people and the laws that we would need to address those issues, for one. And then two, my background as an artist, helping to gain support for these laws and then really make it super accessible so that the average person understands what's going on and understands how these things can affect their life and their future.
Yeah. I think coming back to, thank you for explaining that, by the way. That's super helpful. And it's good to hear of it from your point of view, your perspective, and also just, I want to go back to community, and I want to go back to how people can get involved and what they can do. Is there a process for your volunteers? Is there a way for them to reach out to you? Are you looking for any help right now? What are you looking for? What can people do to help you and help your campaign?
I am looking for help. I need hundreds more volunteers. So part of it is, and a critique of my campaign. I need to do a better job of making people aware of the help I need, and also asking for help. But the main things that we need are donations. So if people don't have time to donate, or they do have money to donate, they can donate money. Anything helps. So you can go to paperboyprince.com. There's a donation link. So that's a big, that would be a big help. But more than that, their actual energy is super important. So the two things that we're asking our volunteers to do right now is phone bank, meaning call people in our district. There's about 200,000 registered Democrats that can vote in our primary. So calling these people, letting them know that this campaign exists, checking on them about coronavirus, like, hey, is everybody good? Are you okay? And then also letting them know that this campaign exists, for one. So that's a big help. And we can show you how to do that. It's really easy and it's a lot of fun. And then the other part is we're making content. So we're making memes, them being funny memes, them being angry memes, just as super simple, high quality memes or super low quality memes, just making a bunch of memes and
creating content.
Exactly. So creating content and doing that. So, and getting it out there. So that's would be a big help.
Nice. Well, I think that's awesome. I know that when you're working with nonprofits or you're working with local government, there seems to be no end to the help that can be provided. I approached you a while back about Masks for the Masses, which is a group that I'm working with, which is a nonprofit located here in Brooklyn, and we provide free masks to anyone who asks. And all the masks are made by volunteers. We provide all the materials, we get them to you directly. We do low contact drop-offs. We do courier services with a robust number of people who just ride their bikes or get in their cars, drop them off to people who need them. I would say a vast majority of people who are asking for these are essential workers and the elderly. our city's most fragile population right now, most exposed, most in need. And I really hope to be able to work with you on that, because it's I don't know, none of us really know when COVID is going to pass, or if it will pass. It could become something like flu season, COVID season. No. So the hope is to normalize the use of mask wearing, like mask yourself when you leave. And there people are selling these money. We want to get it to you at no cost at all. So I completely understand the need for donations and volunteer work, and also creative collaboration. So we hope to be able to work with you on that.
Speaking of what you said, I'm torn about people making money off of masks, because on the one hand, I understand people need to feed their family. And, you know, if you're a store, you got to sell stuff. You know what I mean? And
it's a weird ethical gray area, right?
Yeah.
Like, I want to support you if you're an independent designer, but if you're Uniqlo, I want you to go away right now.
Right.
It's like, you're huge.
It's like, okay.
But if you're an independent designer, like, that's such a different discussion.
Exactly. Like, I saw an ad for like Disney masks for kids, and it was like Mickey Mouse masks for like $25. And like, I get it. I know this is going to fly off the shelves because people love Disney. People need masks. But it feels part of it feels unfair profiting off this, but it also feels hypocritical for me to say it's unfair for you to profit off the mask thing when people are have been profiting off of people that are vulnerable or that are in need this whole time. You know, people who are on their last and they need food. You know, that's like saying something like food or water or you name it, you know, that people need that is kind of being held over their head. Also, I want to say, yo, Malik, what's up? One love. Paper, yeah. As far as the mask, I definitely want to be. I definitely love that idea. I want to be a part of it. I told you I have a mask song that I'm doing as well.
Yeah.
Really a couple ones actually. I have the hop about the bed, put my mask on. Hop about the bed, put my mask on. Took a look in a mirror, said, "What's up?" Yeah. So I have that, and actually just recorded a song last night, which is really funny and it's really lovey-dovey, and it's called "Kiss Me Through the Mask," and it's called it goes like it's like. Mwah, 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 mwah. That's the sound of our mask touching. Mwah, 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 mwah. That's the sound of our mask touching. Kiss me through the mask. I'm kind of flat because I forgot how it goes, but it's basically like, kiss me through the mask. Without you, I feel sad. I'll play it. It'll come out, but I have plenty. I have plenty of opportunities to plug the use of masks and the safe use of masks, and also how you mentioned the work that you all are doing with masks for everyone who asked. That even sounds like a song right there.
I think so too. We'll have to collaborate on something.
That sounds. I got a mask for whoever asks. If you got one, I should walk with a mask. But
yeah.
But no, I definitely want to do that, and I would love to be able to. I would love to be able to help deliver some and get the word out, because we're gonna be delivering food with the Bubble Boy costume. So I would love to deliver masks with the bubble, and this is again a way to kind of help raise awareness. You know, by doing something that's kind of like super eccentric. It's like, okay, ha ha ha, but it's also like, oh, hopefully 0.001% of people will pay more attention, will be that more aware, and that's worth it to get the word out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, that's completely true. It's just, there needs to be more visual content of people wearing masks on a daily basis to help bring it into not only awareness, but habit. Wearing a mask is, I mean, I just saw an article recently about like the emasculation of men who wear masks. They believe wearing a mask makes them less hard. Are you fucking kidding me? It's just like the fragility involved in feeling like a mask makes you less of a man is the kind of thing that makes you wonder what kind of fucking man you are. You know, like that is wild. Wild.
You know what's funny? I actually think that a masks have stereotypically been known as like something that's like gangster and like extra masculine, like, you know what I'm saying? Right, like ninjas and like robbers and like masks seem to me. I'll be in a grocery store scared. I'm like, oh, all y'all about to rob me? Like everybody got a mask and gloves. Like the masks to me are actually like kind of scary. But I do want to say though, I hope that we can get to a time where we can just breathe air and be outside normally without masks. Like that's to me is the best case scenario. Yeah. Like I hope, because it is weird. Like you can't see if somebody's smiling at you, you know, I guess unless they have like a clear mask, which I think would be dope.
I've seen those. They make them for people with hearing impairment.
Oh yeah, who have to, yeah.
You need to be able to read your lips, which I think is super G, like very genius level shit. And yes, a clear mask would be amazing. But I think that just to go back to that point again, it's in Western culture, we haven't made this a habit, as opposed to Asian countries where wearing a mask is just part of what you do. When you're sick, you wear a mask because your whole goal is to not infect another person. But we're living in a very individualistic country. And I hope that through people like yourself and hopefully Mask for the Masses as an organization can spread that information and help save some lives, because that's really what it's about. It isn't about how you look, although we all care, you know, we want to look cute and shit. But at the end of the day, if you can't afford to go and leave your home because you don't have a mask, let's just get you a black mask. Let's just get you what you need so that you can live your life, decorate it later, you know? We'll figure it out.
Right. Definitely let me know how I can get in on that. I mean, I would be open to, and we'll talk, because I have some people that reach out to me that want to help, that said they have vehicles and they're down to help, you know, deliver food. So I'm sure that they would be open to helping deliver masks as well. And then I'm completely down to help deliver some masks, and definitely in the Bubble Boy costume, just because I think that's so cool. I would think that's cool.
It's really cute, yeah.
So
but quickly, just a shout out. So it's Mask for the Masses on IG. It's maskforthemasses.org. I'm Annalisa, famous on Mars on Instagram. You're Paperboy Prince. You're running for Congress. You're fucking killing it.
Paper, yeah. Thank you.
I don't know if you have anything else you want to add, but we can always wrap up now and touch base again soon.
Awesome. The last things I would say are, like I mentioned, now it's Paperboy music season, so lots of music, lots of memes coming, lots of videos, even in a drought, even in Corona. I mean, it's going to be insane, you know. And also performances are coming back. You know, I'm a street performer, and again, I feel like I provide an essential service as far as many people who can't get entertainment, who can't go to afford $5 for a show, $10 for a show, or a Broadway show, or Madison Square Garden. You know, I mentioned some of my biggest fans are homeless or were homeless. And so I'm going to get back to performing, obviously observing all social distancing, as I normally already social distance when I perform regularly. And that's mainly because I am kind of like already dirty and smelly from just being in the street. But but I'm going to use my Bubble Boy costume to get back street performing, and then doing personal performances for people like outside of their window, just for people who are stuck in the house and haven't been outside, you know, just like a love performance. I'll be outside your window, give you a great 10-minute set, and then be done. So
we're going to get you some masks for you and your crew to be safe anytime you're outside. Help protect you all as you perform and entertain New York.
Thank you. Thank you so much. This was great. Let's talk more. We'll talk more.
Yes. Thank you so much.
And you're not far away, right? Where did you say you're? I mean, I don't want to put out where you are, but you're in like You're in Bushwick?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Sounds good.
Yeah. We can talk about where I live later. Yeah. Yeah. I'm in the area.
Same. Okay, well that's good. I was saying that more so for the context of, you know, being able to connect for all this stuff. So awesome. Thank you so much. Glad to speak with you.
Yeah, this has been great. Have a great one.
All right, you too. Peace. Yo, what up? Paper. Yeah, okay. We're still on live here. I'm trying to kill the Zoom. So yeah, shout out to Annalisa. That was a lot of fun. She reached out to me about doing an interview, so I want to do that. Check out her check out their nonprofit. They shouted it out, so about masks. So yeah, I love the idea of giving masks to everyone for free. That's so amazing. I'm doing another live stream. It's supposed to be at 6 p.m. Right now it's 4:20. I have a lot of work to do, so I don't know how long the 6 p.m. one is going to go, but we'll see. I'll see you there at 6 p.m. One love. Paper. Yeah. I love you all. 6 p.m. Eastern time. See you there.